They don't speak like us, they don't think like us. Uncover the hidden codes, subtle cues, and unspoken rules that define the communication of the world's most powerful elite. In a world saturated with information, where every thought is seemingly broadcast and every opinion shouted from the rooftops, there exists a parallel universe of communication. It's a realm where words are carefully chosen, silences are pregnant with meaning, and gestures speak volumes. This is the secret language of the ultra-rich, the global elite, the individuals who shape economies and influence nations. They don't speak like us, they don't think like us, and their communication is a finely tuned instrument of control, influence, and exclusion. While we grapple with the noise of daily life, they operate within a sophisticated framework of hidden codes, subtle cues, and unspoken rules that define their interactions and solidify their power. Today, we're going to decode this clandestine form of communication. We'll explore the nuances of their verbal and nonverbal exchanges, the strategic use of ambiguity, the power of selective disclosure, and the importance of shared context that binds them together. This isn't about deciphering a foreign tongue. It's about understanding a different operating system for human interaction, one designed to maintain exclusivity, convey status, and exert control. Prepare to have your understanding of power dynamics fundamentally reshaped, because once you recognize this language, you'll see its influence everywhere. Let's unlock the hidden lexicon of the elite. The first hallmark of elite communication is the power of subtlety and understatement. While the masses often resort to grand pronouncements and overt displays, the ultra-rich communicate through nuance. They don't need to boast. Their status is self-evident. A quiet word, a knowing glance, a carefully chosen phrase can convey more meaning than 1,000 shouted slogans. Consider the difference between a flashy logo-emblazoned luxury item and a bespoke, unbranded piece of exquisite craftsmanship. The former screams for attention. The latter signals an understanding of true value, appreciated only by those in the know. In conversation, this translates to a preference for indirect communication, implied meanings, and a reliance on shared understanding. They avoid hyperbole, grandstanding, or emotional outbursts, as these are seen as signs of weakness or lack of control. Instead, they master the art of the veiled suggestion, the rhetorical question, and the understated compliment. This subtlety creates an exclusive circle. Those who understand the unspoken cues are part of the club. Those who don't are outsiders. It's a form of linguistic gatekeeping, ensuring that only those with the right cultural capital can truly participate. A crucial element of their communication is shared context and inside jokes. The elite often share a common background: elite schools, exclusive clubs, intergenerational connections, and a history of shared experiences. This creates a vast reservoir of unspoken knowledge, references, and cultural touchstones that form the basis of their communication. An inside joke isn't just a source of amusement, it's a powerful bonding mechanism and a subtle way to exclude outsiders. Similarly, references to obscure historical events, specific economic theories, or even personal anecdotes from their exclusive circles serve as shorthand, instantly conveying complex ideas to those who share the context, while leaving others bewildered. This shared context allows for highly efficient communication, as much can be left unsaid, understood through a glance or a single word. It reinforces their collective identity and creates a sense of belonging, while simultaneously highlighting the intellectual and social distance between them and the general populace. It's a form of social encryption, where only those with the right key can truly decipher the message. The ultra-rich are masters of strategic ambiguity and calculated vagueness. While clarity is often lauded, for the elite, precision can be a liability. By using language that is open to multiple interpretations, they can maintain plausible deniability, avoid committing to specific outcomes, and leave room for maneuver. Think of a politician's carefully worded statement that sounds supportive but commits to nothing, or a corporate executive's earnings call filled with optimistic but non-specific projections. This isn't accidental, it's a deliberate strategy to control risk and manage expectations. Ambiguity allows them to test the waters, gauge reactions, and adapt their position without appearing to backtrack. It also makes it incredibly difficult to hold them accountable, as their statements can always be reinterpreted. This tactic is particularly prevalent in high-stakes negotiations, legal documents, and public relations, where the ability to shape perception without making concrete promises is a valuable skill. It's a linguistic shield, protecting them from direct challenge and allowing them to operate in a gray area of influence. Beyond words, the elite communicate profoundly through the power of silence and nonverbal cues. In many cultures, silence is uncomfortable, a void to be filled. For the powerful, silence is a tool, a weapon, a statement. A prolonged silence after a question can exert immense pressure, forcing the other party to reveal more than they intended or to make concessions. Nonverbal cues, a raised eyebrow, a subtle smirk, a dismissive wave of the hand, a confident posture, or a lack of eye contact, can convey approval, disapproval, dominance, or indifference more powerfully than any spoken word. They are acutely aware of their body language and its impact, using it to project authority, confidence, and control. They read the nonverbal cues of others with equal precision, gaining insights into their true intentions and emotional states. This mastery of the unspoken allows them to conduct entire conversations without uttering a single word, conveying complex messages through a silent symphony of gestures and expressions. It's a form of communication that transcends language, understood only by those attuned to its subtle frequencies. The secret language of the ultra-rich is also, by its very nature, a language of exclusion and gatekeeping. Its purpose is not just to facilitate communication among the elite, but to clearly delineate who is in and who is out. This is achieved through a combination of subtle and overt mechanisms. Exclusive invitations, private events, and members-only clubs are physical manifestations of this exclusion. But the language itself acts as a filter. The use of specific jargon, obscure references, and a particular cadence of speech can instantly identify an outsider. The ability to understand and respond appropriately to these cues is a prerequisite for entry into their circles. Those who fail to grasp the unspoken rules, who speak too loudly, too directly, or too emotionally, are subtly, or sometimes overtly, dismissed. This gatekeeping ensures that only those who conform to the elite's communication norms gain access to their networks, their opportunities, and their power. It's a self-reinforcing system that preserves their exclusivity and maintains their collective advantage. Finally, the ultra-rich are masters of the strategic use of storytelling and narrative control. They understand that power isn't just about controlling resources, it's about controlling the narrative. They don't just communicate facts, they craft compelling stories that shape public opinion, influence policy, and protect their interests. This can involve funding think tanks to promote certain economic ideologies, investing in media outlets to control the flow of information, or carefully curating their public image through philanthropic endeavors. They understand that a well-crafted story can be more powerful than any data point, capable of swaying public sentiment and justifying their actions. They are adept at framing issues in a way that benefits them, subtly shifting the focus or creating a desired perception. This narrative control extends to their personal brands, their business ventures, and their political influence. It's a sophisticated form of psychological warfare, where the battlefield is the public mind, and the weapon is a carefully constructed story. So, the secret language of the ultra-rich is a fascinating, intricate system of communication designed for influence, control, and exclusion. From the power of subtlety and shared context to strategic ambiguity, nonverbal cues, gatekeeping, and narrative control, these are the tools they use to navigate their world and maintain their dominance. Understanding this language isn't about becoming one of them. It's about recognizing the invisible forces that shape our world, the subtle signals that dictate power dynamics, and the ways in which information is truly exchanged at the highest levels. Once you begin to decipher these codes, you'll see the world through a different lens, equipped to navigate its complexities with greater awareness and insight. The question isn't just what they say, but how they say it, and what they leave unsaid. Are you ready to understand the true language of power?